Looking at our preferences. When we click over here on edit, you'll see on the bottom we have preferences. And up here on the top window, if you look, we can look at the different preferences, like we have general preferences, audio preferences, keyboard and control surfaces, advanced control, and international. We're going to look at these each in depth in different tutorials, but let's start by looking at our general preferences. By default, the default song right here, when you create a new song, this whatever is selected down here is what's going to be in the new song. If we select built-in in Reason 4, when we create a new arrangement, the new arrangement is going to have the mixing board on top of the rack. But we can also make the default setup an empty rack simply by clicking on empty rack. And you'll see that when we create a new song, it'll be an empty rack. Let's go back to our preferences here, edit preferences. Plus you can do a custom rack. So if you create a rack here with drum machines and keyboards and synthesizers and you like to always start with that, you can use this built-in and select that rack right from here. Let's create a rack first, and then I'll show you how to save it as the default song and open it. So you can customize your rack and have whatever drum machines you want so that when you create a new song, it'll open up the way you like it. But let's look at that in another tutorial. Cable automation is a neat looking little thing on the back of Reason. When you hit the tab key in Reason, it shows you the back of the rack, and you'll see that the back of the rack has these cables, which we're going to learn how to wire up our things. Remember our devices. Remember I said that when you start with a mixing board, Reason is going to wire all this stuff in the back for you. So if you don't know how to do this, you'll probably want to start very first at the beginning with a mixing board in your rack. You notice when I turn the rack forward and backward by hitting the tab key, those cables move. See that? That actually eats up a little bit of power, little CPU and resources on your computer. So you can actually come over here and you can disable the cable automation so that the cables don't move and it's a slightly less load on your computer.